What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shut Up and Listen. And today, in light of Father's Day, we have four fathers that should definitely not be celebrated for Father's Day.
You think?
You're a father. You should definitely be celebrated for Father's Day. And happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yes.
You are what they call, I guess, now a further?
Further?
Yeah, you have a dog. So
I'm a father for furries?
Well, yes, you are.
I'll raise a bunch of furries. A bunch of little weirdos.
No,
totally cool
since you own a dog and you treat your dog well, I also tell you Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
These guys we are about to talk definitely don't deserve one simply because they are assholes.
Oh, that is putting it so lightly. Oh, so lightly.
Soon you will find out.
Yeah.
I will start with this guy. Now, some of you might have heard these stories before, but I just have to say that they are awesome on every level. This guy, he had his priorities straight. He definitely deserved Father of the Year, Mr. John List. His name might sound familiar. John List was a middle-class father of two, lived with his loving wife and his loving mother. Guess what he does in return? Falls in some debt. Instead of, working hard, maybe getting a second job or whatever, he kills his wife, kills his mother, waits for his kids to come home from school. Before his kids come home from school, starts cleaning the lawn, raking leaves, cleans the gutters, pretty sure took out the trash, waits for his kids to come home, slaughters them, and get this, he doesn't get caught for I think it was 18 years? It took that 18 years to find him.
That is ridiculous. You know what? He's cutting his overhead. He's in debt.
Oh.
He just took care of every mouth he has to feed. And he's raking the leaves. That man has his priorities straight.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I definitely agree to this.
Now, looking at this picture, he looks like the guy that I would suspect that would kill his family. Like, if he was my neighbor, I wouldn't want to talk to this guy.
Oh, 100%.
He looks like he would either be the kid to shoot up the school or the guy to kill his entire family. So one of them was right.
I'm not gonna lie, though. He's sporting very similar glasses to me.
And he's rocking my hairline, so...
Looks like he's our daddy.
Oh, probably. I really didn't know mine, so maybe. So this one is Ryan O'Neal. Now, Ryan...
we know Ryan O'Neal. We've heard this story before.
Ryan O'Neal, just looking at him, he looks like a douchebag.
Oh my
Plain and
God,
simple,
yes.
He looks like a douchebag. Look at that haircut. Look at that smirk.
If you don't know who Ryan O'Neal is, the links to everything we read or came across is going to be in the bio.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth a Google.
He was a parent to, from what I have found, at least two kids.
Mm-hmm.
To his son, his name was Griffin, and his daughter was Tantum. Tatum. Tantum. Strange name. Awesome. I feel bad for this girl. That's where her bad luck started, was at her name. But it gets worse. Tantum got the worst of it.
Tatum O'Neal.
Tantum. Griffin, now, he got beaten a lot. He got his teeth smashed out of his head. He got ruthless, day after day, gruesome beatings. But the father decided that wasn't enough.
No.
So the father grabbed his gun. One afternoon, they get into an argument, and he decides that he needs to shoot him in order to prove a point. So he shoots his son.
What point are you...
I don't understand what argument could be bad enough that you're like, you need to get whacked. That's it. You have to shoot your son.
Is it more like, you know what, Dad? You punched me in the face. You might even broken my ribs, but you will never shoot me. Is that the argument you're having?
Want to bet? Well, you shouldn't have tempted him. Now, his daughter, Tatum, as you pointed out, Tatum, may not have been shot, but she probably wished she had.
Why?
So, Tatum, from what I have found, suffered with a little bit of a weight problem.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. She wasn't a heavy girl. From the pictures that I have seen, she wasn't really a heavy girl. But even if she was, her father made her snort coke in order to lose the weight.
You know what? Greatest diet ever.
How do you make your young daughter, you're too fat, here's an 8-ball. Take this. Merry Christmas, you fat piece of shit. Like, how do you do that? How do you have your daughter snort coke in order to lose weight?
I have a little girl. I would never be able to do that. I can't even think of that.
So, Tatum decides that she's had enough. She's like, I want to kill myself. I cannot live this life. Understandably, I wouldn't want to live with a father like that.
Who would?
Unless
you're into 8-balls. Then I'm like...
Hey, listen, your father gets you addicted, and you know what? You find it's the right path for you. That's on you.
That's exactly.
You stay at home. She decided she wanted to kill herself.
Okay.
Sad story. A lot of people have tried to go that route.
Which suicide is never the answer.
No. She tried to slit her wrist. Her father, in response to finding her with her wrist slit, his only response to her was, you slit the wrong way.
You slit the wrong way.
You should have went up. Instead of crossing, you should have went up.
Ah.
That was his only response to finding his daughter in the house bleeding.
You should have gone up.
Slit the wrong way. You should have gone up.
2 thumbs up.
You
Mr.
are
O'Neill.
a horrible person.
You should burn in hell.
But each one of these, unfortunately, get worse. Now, this guy...
Well, I don't know how worse you think. Because this guy, I mean, is just a bully with children. I mean... Alright, let's start from the beginning with him. This guy, Jim Pierce. He is one of those overbearing, sports enthusiastic, kid gots to be number one type person. He had a little girl who was in love with the game of tennis.
Okay.
She would just go on and on about it. She wanted to be the next Billie King.
I don't know who that is.
I think it's Billie King.
That's fine. Okay. Serena Williams.
All I know is that Emma Stone played her in the movie.
Okay.
She looked great, by the way.
Did she?
Oh,
I didn't see it.
I only watch her movies, but...
I know.
Anyways, we digress.
We get it.
So he starts giving her, lessons, gets the best tutors, whatever. He gets banned by the Pee Wee Tennis League and has the rule named after him when you overreact to a call or start bullying the other kids. He literally told one of his daughter's opponents that she will never amount to anything and she should have thrown the game to let a rising star win.
So where does he make the list as a bad parent? Because I see this as he got his kid tennis lessons, he doesn't want the other kid to win.
He bullied his daughter.
He bullied his daughter?
Yes.
I thought he bullied the other girl.
He bullied her and the other girl.
It's okay to bully other people's kids. If it's your kids, it's a problem. But if it's your neighbor's kids or the opposing team...
Don't listen to him. He has no idea what he's talking about.
Person.
So am I, but I'm not going to tell a 9-year-old to drop dead.
It depends on the situation. It depends on the 9-year-old and it depends on the situation.
Who you got next? I'm not even going to touch this no more.
So this guy, I didn't think that we could find somebody worse than him. He has proven me wrong, and you'll see in the number 1 spot. But this guy...
Well, here's the thing. Before we get into your guy, it's hard to say who's number 1, who's the worst of the worst. Simply because your story is horrific.
Let's tie these in number 1 then. Let's put both of these next stories as they are extremely horrible in completely different ways.
You know what? We'll do one better. Tell us in the comments, who do you think is the worst father?
Okay. So this is Joseph Fritz.
But we all know this. If you has been around for the last 15 years, you've known this story. And it gets worse every time you hear it.
This has made headlines. This was on national news. I'm pretty sure that they even made a movie of this. this has been inspired for a lot of Criminal Minds episodes, like a lot of those cop shows, just because this is so horrible that you can't imagine it would be real.
I'm pretty sure there's a pornographic cat with the same name.
I want to search that up now. I don't
pretty
know,
sure
but if there is, please post pictures in the comments below. This guy imprisoned his daughter for 24 years.
It's horrible.
In his basement, locked her in there. She never seen the light of day for 24 years. And he forced her to have 7 kids with him.
Now, where did she give birth? There in the basement?
There in the basement.
Where's her mother?
No idea. I have no idea.
She's giving birth in the basement of their house. And if there's a mother there, where the fuck is she? Doesn't she hear that, oh, the baby's coming, the baby's coming?
But you want to know something? A lot of the time, a lot of these really horrible people and these really horrible stories, the mothers are involved in it too. They just look the other way because for years they go through abuse, or this is the way they were raised. Now, if you find this normal on any sort of level, you should just be set on fire. That's my personal opinion. I'll set you on fire. But he made his own daughter give birth to 7 kids, which he then imprisoned most of them in that basement. God only knows what the hell he's doing to these kids.
Oh, God. But in the long run, he did get caught.
He did get caught. Yes,
and
he did get caught.
I'm pretty sure he died with a dick in his ass.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that whatever he did to his daughter and his grandchildren came back to him at a tenfold.
Yeah, I really hope Bubba and Jermaine up in state, they really,
A little bit of tiny up in there.
Right. This guy is truly horrific.
Horrible.
He
Absolutely
is
horrible.
The worst of the worst. But this guy, he's so stupid. He's so out of his fucking mind that you have to take a step back and be like, what the fuck did you just do? Okay.
Was it the decision to keep that mustache?
Well, I don't know what the fuck that is.
That was a bad decision. With a guy with the half a mustache that starts over here, you know that he doesn't make good life decisions.
Oh, 1000%. Okay. Jesus Martinez is... I don't know if he's a fucking genius or the world's dumbest person. He sold his daughter. He sold her.
Like, here, take this, and in return, I will take money.
Like, hi, I have a daughter. I will sell her to you. Guess what his payment was?
It had to have been expensive. You're selling a human being.
Well, it's actually a bargain. It was $16,000, 160 cases of beer, 100 cases of soda, 50 cases of Gatorade. You gotta stay hydrated.
Of course.
You got to stay hydrated.
Apparently this guy's throwing the world's most expensive party in the world.
He has food and drinks for everyone.
Yeah, for everybody.
2 cases of wine, and here's the best part. 6 cases of meat. Now, I had to Google this.
Cases.
A case of meat weighs around 20 pounds.
So this isn't like a case of meat that you're getting from, like, ShopRite?
No.
This
it's
is not something...
your local supermarket.
Okay.
This is a case of meat that they will ship to your local supermarket. It's 20 pounds. Now, he got 6 cases of those. That's 120 pounds of raw meat.
Wow.
So this man is literally... he's eating and drinking like a fucking king.
Hey, you know what it sounds like to me? This guy's about to throw a huge barbecue and his daughter was against it. And he was like, you want to know something? We're going to get everything for free now. I know somebody.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
I have a guy, and he's got me some meat and a lot of Gatorade. We're going to get fucked up.
Here's the best part. The guy agreed to it, and they shook on it. Because there's going to be legal documents other than a fucking shake. So the guy shakes on it, comes to pick up the girl, brings nothing. Doesn't bring the money, doesn't bring the meat, Doesn't bring anything.
He doesn't bring the meat?
Doesn't bring the meat.
Oh,
the
man.
only meat he's got is between his legs.
We knew he was sketchy. He didn't even bring the meat. How dare he?
Takes the girl and I guess takes her to a hotel room or whatever, trying to get the honeymoon on. Guess what this fat fuck does?
The father? Guess
the father does. He feels betrayed and he calls the cops on the guy who came to kidnap his own daughter. He calls the cops. God. The cops come in, start questioning him. He rolls over on himself.
He promised me meat.
Yeah, he promised me 120 pounds of raw meat, all kinds of beers and drinks, and 16,000.
I had a quinceañera set up. And now I can't feed my people. How dare he?
Oh, God. I'm not touching this one. So... Sierra. Oh, Lord. I could say Selena Silos Dinos.
I don't even know what that means.
Selena? Selena, the singer.
What about her? Maybe she was the 120 pounds of meat? Maybe he found that guy.
Oh, no. So that is the worst Father's Day, people. Before we go, like, comment, share, enjoy our stupidity. Next upload, we're going to have a little something different. Can't really talk about it just yet, but it's definitely a 180 in what we do now.
Yeah.
Just trying out something new. Maybe it'll click or whatever. But
if you guys like with it, we'll come up with a couple more episodes. It's more on the serious side of Shut Up and Listen.
Yeah.
With still a little bit of our dark humor.
If you want to call it dark humor. So just remember, dudes, shut up and fucking listen, guys.
Shut up and listen.
See ya.
How are you feeding?
Exactly. 8 people, you're sneaking sandwiches down, cheese sandwiches in the basement, no one fucking notices. Come on. Come on.
If the mother's around and she had no idea, honey, what are you making 9 sandwiches for? Don't worry about it. It's okay.
It's for the dog.
I was thinking of you later.
Oh, right.
The guys at work. You've been retired for 15 years.
You know what it is? This guy met this guy, and that was the deal.
Maybe he traded one of his daughters, and that's how he was feeding them with 120 pounds of meat.
There you go. See, he knew a guy who knew a guy.
He knew a guy who knew a guy. Oh my God.
The hungry motherfucker, because this man was starving. Jesus Martinez.
Oh, Jesus.
The man was hungry, fellas.
120 pounds. I can't even get a fucking 3 pound of meat home from ShopRite or Meat Supreme without it going bad. What the fuck was he gonna do with 120 pounds of meat?
You know what kind of freezer? Do you understand what kind of freezer this man had? It had to be. How could you go through 120 pounds of meat?
Oh, man. The best part is he's actually kind of cockeyed.
Kind of.
So do you think that he knew that he was trading his daughter?
Who else is he?
Trading his car, maybe? I'll give you the Mercedes for $16,000, a case of beer, and some meat. And he was like, wait, where'd my daughter go?
Wait, here's the best part. What if the daughter looked like this?
And he got... If the daughter looks like this and he got 16 grand, the other guy got ripped off. The other guy got ripped off. There had to be like a Kelly Blue Book on fucking cross-eyed children. Trade in value for fucking... It's like the dude from Mr. Deeds. He was like, I know the weatherman's watching me. He's staring at the garden gnome and the deer outside. He was like, I know the weatherman's out to get me. And it's the cross-eyed guy. One eye staring at the garden gnome, the other one's at the deer in the forest.
If you're gonna do this, don't have children. Snip the fucking snip off. Don't have kids and rape them or sell them for meats and cheeses. You know there was a couple pounds of provolone or French or fresh mutts.
Where did Francesca go? We couldn't afford groceries. We couldn't afford groceries. It was a tight month.
Oh, God. For some bell pepper and bag of potatoes.
Oh man.
Oh god.